unbiased American view to make the European Union a little less boring. This week's exciting guest is from GroenLinks in Amsterdam, and now your incredibly impressive host, Greg Shapiro. Hi, it's me, Greg Shapiro, the American Netherlander, giving the European Union the respect they deserve by making fun of them just like anyone else. This week, we'll take a look at the new European Commission. Yes, Juncker and Tusk, Frans Timmermans, the right-hand man, and very lucky this week to be joined by the GroenLinks leader of Amsterdam, the Green Left leader, Rutger Groot Wassink is here. Hi.
Hi.
And we're trying things differently this year. This time we're going to introduce you right up at the top. So now, we're going to talk about the new commission, the changing, the changing news updates about who might be the environmental commissioner. We've heard that there's not going to be an environmental commissioner. Maybe they'll just lump it in with energy or one of the energy commissions. And we thought that maybe the Green Left would have something to say about that. So anyway, Rutger, hi.
Hi.
Welcome to the show. We were talking just beforehand about what's the very latest, and there might be. What was the last thing you heard, actually?
I think there's one commissioner for environmental issues,
Right.
and there are like two commissioners for energy.
Okay.
One of them does climate as well.
Yeah.
But he's not doing climate change, and he's
Got
not
it.
doing renewable energy. So I'm not quite sure.
You're right.
And they're Spanish and from one of those Eastern Europe countries. I'm not sure.
Yes,
so
okay.
I'm not too confident.
Okay. Well, it seems like some of the chips may have to fall yet into place. But well, let's look at what we do know of the headlines, and Rutger will be right back with you in a minute. The headlines: to punish incursions into Ukraine, EU leaders brought around a new round of sanctions against Russia, including energy imports. The EU insisted that these sanctions are not permanent, and they could be reversed if Russia obeys international law or if the EU gets cold. European countries are lining up to support American military action in Iraq, just as some of President Obama's previous statements are now being called into question, such as calling the IS a JV, or junior varsity team. The White House has now officially upgraded ISIS to a full varsity team. They will be given matching uniforms and cheerleaders as soon as possible. In tech news, Apple introduced their new electronic wallet payment system on the same day that Home Depot announced that hackers had stolen thousands of people's credit card data. Apple insisted that Apple Pay is different. Apple Pay can never be hacked, and your data will be just as safe as all your nude selfies in iCloud. The EU's new competitiveness commissioner, Margrethe Vestager, will have her hands full following a full plate of alleged fairness violations at Google, Intel, and Microsoft. But her main new initiative will apparently be to punish Apple for making us all listen to U2's new album, which no one asked for. While America and Ukraine concluded that the missile which shot down Malaysia Airlines Flight 17 last July was fired by pro-Russian militants, a Dutch independent investigation reports that the cause of the crash is inconclusive. The Netherlands said that they are not only trying to burnish their credentials as an unbiased country of fair trials, they're also trying to distract from the fact that Rostec, the company that manufactured the missile, is based in Amsterdam for tax purposes. DNA technology was used to identify Jack the Ripper, solving a mystery that has lasted over 100 years. Thank goodness they made a priority of Jack the Ripper, said the Americans on death row, waiting for DNA evidence to prove that they committed no crime. And in travel news, users of the Knee Defender to prevent the airplane seat in front of you from reclining are being encouraged to use a different system. According to the airlines, if your legs are long enough that your knees need defending, you can offer the person in front of you a nice scalp or shoulder massage in exchange for not tilting so far back. Right. Well, that was the news, and let's get back to our guest here, Rutger. Rutger Groot Wassink. I will say we've known each other now for a little while. I did a show at the Bali, sort of like a year in review show, and that was great. That was in the lead up to the whole,
the elections.
The elections, the gemeenteraadsverkiezingen. Exactly, the local elections here, and that was. Someone called you out, I think, at one point for.
Yeah,
you were going into some like campaign stuff. Yeah. Anyway, to avoid,
as politicians do,
exactly, to avoid you coming across all politician-like, I thought we would loosen things up by asking you what I call the 6 in 60. That's 6 questions in 60 seconds. And, and I'll get back to those in just a minute. We're doing great. 6 questions in 60 seconds. We're on the clock now. These are just random questions. The first thing that comes to mind, that's exactly what we're looking for. Are we ready? Okay. And 3, 2, 1, go. When you were growing up, picture the room when you were a kid. What was the poster on your wall?
Mel and Kim.
Mel and Kim?
Yeah.
I don't even know who that is. Okay.
No, 2 girls.
2 girls.
Yeah, they were excellent.
Oh, no. Mel and Kim. We'll get back to that.
And Shirley.
And Pepsi. Okay, sure. Next up, we're moving on. Boxers or briefs?
Boxers.
Boxers, good. What did you have for lunch today?
Sandwich.
Sandwich.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bologna sandwich.
Bologna, so there was meat on it.
Yeah.
You have kids. What are their names?
Boris and Rana.
Boris and Rana?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Who's more trouble?
Rana.
Okay, got it.
Girl.
If you had to have a dinner with any dead celebrity, a dead person, famous person, who would that be?
Caesar.
Caesar. Okay, this is getting more and more interesting. Final question, and we're right on time. Will our children inherit a better planet than we have or no?
I sure as hell hope so.
Very diplomatic. I know.
No, yeah.
But I mean, that's what it comes down to for me. And, people keep asking me, hey, Shapiro, your show, it's, I want to watch it. But, God, you just keep talking about issues and policies. But, no, we're trying to make things, we're trying to talk about the issues that might seem, arcane and European and policy wonky. But the stuff that really makes a difference in our everyday lives. Now, Rutger was also just talking about how the clean energy, renewable energy is maybe not getting enough attention, and yet we can all start doing stuff on our own on an everyday basis. Maybe is it going to be grassroots to make a real difference, or is it going to be like top down? That's my first question.
I think both. I think there's a huge grassroots development. For example, if you look in Amsterdam, there are a lot of people who are self-sufficient in their energy. And a lot of people are taking all kinds of initiatives to take care of their energy. Yeah. But I think that we need top-down policies as well. For example, if you look at the European Union, the European Union has a very strong aim that every country should have like 16% renewable energy in... I think it's in 2 years, and
that's right around the corner.
Yeah, but the Netherlands we won't make it.
No.
But
Germany maybe.
No, definitely. Yeah, Germany. They will. Germany, Denmark. A lot of countries will receive it. Will get that aim. Right. But we're like. I think there are 3 countries doing worse than the Netherlands. Okay. We're really crazy.
So again, sort of leading from behind, if you will.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's on the national scope. Yeah. But of course, you're representing politics in Amsterdam. Yeah. So actually, let me get to a separate question now. And this was submitted by one of our viewers, Nathan Titor. But he would like to know, why are we not recycling metal in Amsterdam, or is there anywhere in the Netherlands that we recycle metal?
Yeah, we do recycle metal.
Okay.
There is this huge waste disposal in the harbor, and they're taking the metals off.
So that is interesting. Even when is it true then? If I have an aluminum can or a can of corn and I just toss that in the garbage,
it will be taken out.
It will still. So it is being recycled. Yeah. It's just I don't need to do anything.
Yeah, but it should be done even better. I mean, I think that in some states of the United States there's statiegeld on cans.
That's true. Which is a deposit. You get your deposit money back.
On soda cans.
Sure.
And we don't have that in the Netherlands. And you see that a lot of cans are in the streets and are in waste.
Yeah.
So we could do a lot better, but there is recycling of metals.
Okay.
But we could do better.
That is good to know. Let's see. I just saw an interesting show as well on like National Geographic. How do they do it? And it was about recycling of plastic, you know.
Yeah.
And apparently right now, what you talked about, the deposit. So in different countries, they have different rules. In France as well, just put all the plastic back. But here, you get money for your plastic bottles. If they came from that shop, you can still return the glass bottles as well. But
there is already in certain neighborhoods of Amsterdam, there's a pilot of separate of taking out your plastic trash separately, which is very good, in my point of view.
I did that just today. I recycled some plastic because I can. Yet I was on vacation in France, and we were staying with some people, but they had glass, they had paper, they had so much separation, and even like a biodegradable, and even like for batteries, And after I divided up all of our recycling, there was nothing left, really. Why do we need a normal garbage can? Anyway, Hey, I see you nodding at each other. You can talk out loud. It's one of those shows. Hey.
We should take a break in a couple of minutes.
Oh, of course. Okay, we will. Well, let's get to just one more question here from another viewer, Jonathan Gruber. Yes. Ask him if he has any policy that doesn't involve raising taxes.
We are strongly in favor of lowering taxes on work. Because in the Netherlands, work is way too expensive, which means that it's not very easy for employers to hire you, and you don't get enough money in your pocket, which is not that good for consumerism. So we have policies that lower taxes. But hey, we strongly feel that people who make a lot of dirt and the people who spoil, they should pay taxes.
Well, it's as I've heard it said by Green Left before, you're either paying later or you're paying now. I mean, there is no other way.
In Dutch, de vervuiler betaalt.
The polluter,
the polluter
should
pays.
Pay. Let's see. We're just gonna. Should we take a short break? Exactly. Broadcast Amsterdam is producing this show, and we would just like to take a short break. We'll have a drink, and we'll be right back after this short break. Shapiro, the American Netherlander.
And welcome to So Damn Local.
I'm Nick Hyder, the host of the What's Up Amsterdam TV show.
Published in Zo now. Well, Eco's leader is out in book one.
My name's You
mean we win wars and kick ass?
And we want to help you make it. I mean, that's why everybody, all these organizations,
Jewish person was a big Jewish
The neighbourhood market is on every third Sunday of the month, but this year there will be 4 weekend festivals organised, one every 2 months. Yeah, it's just like a really, you know what I mean by that? A real kind of what's doing next quality to it.
Which managed to convince
But yeah, sometimes it was verging on the cheesy.
it's quite an expensive project, but it's so great.
He's on the same side, Jesse, motherfucker.
And we're all part of Broadcast Amsterdam.
It's always been weird, so that was... Broadcast Amsterdam, the proud producers of this show, and we're back with Rutger Groot Wassink from GroenLinks in Amsterdam. And yeah, let's see, I have one more question submitted from Kenny Lowen. Hi, Kenny. He asked, how do your... I had to sort of transcribe this. Your question was about taxes, yes. How do your policies affect energy prices? There we go. Let's just put it that way. I think he was talking more about, you know, not taxes in terms of hiring people and creating jobs. But, yeah, what are the, you know, policies, not just with your party, but with the Netherlands right now, perhaps, to enable more renewables, either more efficiency or, you know, using less or cheaper energy?
Well, there are huge subsidies if you use renewable energy. But of course, my party feels that should be increased.
Solar panels, for example.
Yeah, for example, we would like, as for example, the city of Amsterdam, we would like windmills in the harbor because we can have a lot of them.
Got it.
And there are a lot of ways in which you can have green energy, which is rather cheap.
Yeah.
But what we in the Netherlands, what we should do is there's this people who use a lot of bulk energy.
Yeah.
For example, you pay for one unit like 20 cents.
Yeah.
And the bulk users pay like 0.0001 cents.
Got it. And who are bulk users? Like big buildings, hospitals,
big corporations,
sure.
Big factories.
Yeah.
And of course they can have a reduced tariff.
Sure.
But not in the way as it now. Because if they should pay more of a fair price because they are polluting, which also makes them more innovative to use renewable energy.
Yeah, well...
And there is a lot of renewable energy. If you look, for example, to other countries like Denmark, they're leading and they can... they produce that much that a lot of the corporations also can use that.
Of course. I mean, it's interestingly, I read an article not long ago in the International New York Times, and it was talking about the problem with wind energy. And I thought, oh no, there's a problem, you know, with wind energy. And the problem was that Denmark had created too much.
Yeah.
And that they actually needed to pay other countries to take this excess capacity off their hands. And I thought, that's the problem? That we're creating too much wind energy. And yet today, yesterday, there was an article, front page above the fold, Sun and Wind Alter Global Energy Outlook. So this article was... actually wondered if it started out in the business section and was like, oh, this is bad for the energy companies, because it was talking about how, you know, the status quo is really there's a feeling right now in the whole like industry, you know, from Europe, you know, from nations all the way top down and bottom up, you know, that it's not sustainable, whatever. But it's solar, Germany, you know, Denmark, wind. It's changing.
Oh, definitely. For example, the Germans. There are days since I think since a couple of years there are days that they produce more clean energy than they used to do in their nuclear power plants, and they produce more than they need in the rural area in their heavy industry. And I think that the international developments from our last months show us that also for a country as the Netherlands, we shouldn't be that dependent on villains like the Russians and the Saudis. We should have our own energy because Russia, exactly as you mentioned in the beginning, Russia will say, okay, we'll stop giving you gas. And we shouldn't be that dependent on those rogue states.
Well, then it's, and yet, you know, the reason that Germany switched over from nuclear to renewables was the scare after Fukushima, wasn't it?
Sure.
Do we need a big scare? What will it take to shake things up even in the Netherlands?
I think that the times are changing and people are making that change. And I think that the change will be brought on from grassroots organizations, from people themselves. But in the end, even politics is slow on that, but they will follow. I mean, if Germany and Denmark and a lot of other countries show that
Malta,
that there's a business case in renewable energy. That will make a change. And I saw there are a lot of companies in the Netherlands as well who know that they can reduce their costs on energy if they are innovative.
Right. It's funny. I mean, American companies right now are doing corporate inversion. Oh, we can make more money by lowering our tax status or not. We don't even know the real story there. And yet, we could also lower, our costs by renewable energy. Anyway, no one's thinking about that. But when the business case is made, so that's good to hear someone from Green Left not just talking about raising taxes, viewers, but Gosia Krakowska also would like to know: how did you travel here tonight?
Oh, my bike broke down, so I came by tram.
Okay. So not a car. Do you have a car?
No.
See, there we go.
My girlfriend has a car, but we use it only to go to grandfather's. We don't have a permit. So,
out of town. That was good.
Only on vacations.
Here's a yelling out to Jeremy in the booth. We're going to switch topics now because, get this, it's not just green, it's also left. The Green Left Party has to straddle, they have to be everywhere all at once. Now we have some other news, which is, again, terrible news coming from the southern border of Europe, which is that, we've also had more refugees trying to escape from northern Africa and not making it. Across the sea to Lampedusa in Italy or to Sicily. And this was something that Rutger was mentioning earlier before the show. Let's talk a little bit, not just about the European Commission with the energy and renewables policy, but also with not just human rights, but refugee status and foreign policy, basically. Do you have any insight on Francesca Mogherini, the new foreign policy chief, or anyone who might take the lead on creating, finally, some kind of real policy?
Now, what's rather interesting is that the problem of refugees is not at this Italian commissioner, but with the Greece commissioner.
You said Greek.
Because the Greek.
The Greek, okay.
Yeah, because they have the largest problems with refugees.
Really?
Most of the refugees come to Greece.
I mean, I know the border, basically from Turkey into Greece.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's underreported, honestly.
Yeah, but that doesn't really gives me the faith that we're going to work it out. I mean, if I look at the system in which we try to make a base of Europe, and we try to defend our borders from refugees coming here. And I don't have, let's be honest, I don't have the solution as well. But I strongly feel that we, by just closing our borders, that doesn't change the problem. No. And how many people do have to drown in the Mediterranean Sea before we try to do something about it? I mean, we should have a coordinated policy. And from my point of view, in the Netherlands, we should have a better asylum laws, a better
refugee laws.
For example, as a local politician, we have a lot of refugees in the city as well, which are undocumented. Right. The Dutch government says that they have to go back, but they can't go back. For example, if their country is in war or something like that.
Well, I've met some of these people as well, and somehow they don't have their passports anymore.
No, and they're from like the southern Sudan.
Or a country that didn't exist when they left.
And are sure to be shot when they return.
Sure.
And I strongly feel that we should find a solution for these people also in our cities. And of course, it's impossible to have everybody over.
Right.
But also, let's be honest about it. People don't come to Europe because they like the trip.
Although Europe is very nice.
But they come here for a reason. They come here for the dream of a better future. Which means that we have to try to improve the situation of living in, for example, Africa as well.
Well, indeed. Okay, so there we go. We were talking about the environment as well, and just the very fact that rising ocean levels. I mean, that is even the climate deniers, I think, are having a hard time denying that there are huge amounts of people that are going to be displaced. They're going to need a place to go. They're going to come to
this summer.
To Europe.
The first climate refugees from Tuvalu, this islands in the Pacific.
In the Pacific, right? Yeah,
they're like the first who really have to go because of global warming.
Yeah.
And I fear that in the next 50 years, there will be large changes. For example, with the rising of the sea levels and international conflicts. So let's not think that we can close our borders and keep everybody out. We should change something in the way we have context with other parts of the world.
Right. Well, I mean, you also mentioned development. And all right. I'm tempted to go into big pharma, which was also in the news just today. But the idea that finally some company made a deal about providing some generics or cheaper drugs just to provide hepatitis. And yes. Anyway, I mean, again, we get back to big business and maybe innovation that could, or a sort of market-based solution to some of these problems. Anyway, any initiatives, from GroenLinks Amsterdam that you're thinking of in terms of helping?
We feel that not to help over there, but also to help here. Because we have groups of refugees in they squat at schools and garages.
Exactly. Well, they're either they're joining with the existing squatters, I believe, to take over. But, I visited those groups, and they don't have any food. They don't have any possibility to wash themselves, and we are taking an initiative to make sure that that the local that we as community make sure that those people have what we call bed bad brood, that they have a bed to sleep in, a bread to eat, and a bath. This is a very basic voorziening to make sure that it's that they could live as that it's well, of course,
a bit human.
In America, we have Bed Bath and Beyond. And here it's just Bed Bath and bread. It's it is beyond just bed and bath. But indeed, but I mean, okay, fine. We can talk about some of the alternatives to refugees undocumented and squatting in unofficial places. Sometimes they're moved to these official residences, which are also a lot like prisons. But I've also heard that the Netherlands has a reputation, even among human traffickers, that there are some of the longest detentions, that there are some of the not nice living conditions, and that is actually a disincentive for people to come to the Netherlands. They might rather go to a different, and the language, but they might rather go to a different place. What do you have to say about that?
No, I'm not sure if that's what's scaring people to go to the Netherlands. What I see is that, for example, Germany doesn't want to forward refugees to the Netherlands anymore because they feel that the circumstances in which we take care of refugees are violation of international law.
Wow.
So the Germans stopped forwarding refugees, and that makes me feel that even though I know a lot of parties feel that we should be very tough and very harsh towards refugees, we still should take account international law, and we still should take humanity into account, which means for me that again, those people don't come here for no reason. They're most of the time very traumatized we should have a basic level of humanity.
And I mean, you're talking about even Germany is criticizing the Netherlands, and the Netherlands has a reputation as the International Court of Justice and everything. Is there a danger that we're going to run out of time? But is there a danger that the Netherlands is going to lose this reputation for humanitarian and fair play? Oh dear. All right. Well, thanks for ending on a happy note. But we do have to wrap up. Is there anything else you'd like to tell us, how can we find out about,
check out our website, www.groenlinks.nl.
Thank
liked
you.
being here.
Thank you very much, Rutger Groot Wassink. And you can find out more about him on the old Facebook page for Broadcast Amsterdam or for Great Shapiro Comedian. And we'll see you next week.